Alright boys and girls, it is time to get back down to business. StarCraft Brood War, haven't done a commentary in a little bit of time, but now is the time to get back into it. This is Ret versus Idra. Ret playing Zerg, Idra playing Terran, and both of these guys, very cool players. I would call them both foreign players, but Idra technically is not really a foreign player anymore because obviously, as everybody knows, he has been playing in Korea as a pro gamer. First with Idra and now with CJ Enters for some time. Both of these guys actually doing pretty well in the tournament scene. Ret actually did win DreamHack, the big LAN tournament in Sweden, whereas Idra has actually been doing very well. He's recently won the SC2GG Star League, I believe, as well as a couple of other events that he's been doing well in. I know there was a period of time where he just really kept going on TV or kept going to tournaments and dropping out of them through to losing games. Obviously there was the very heartbreaking series against F91, if I've got the name right there, recently on the TL, Liquidation. Liquidation, have I got that right? Anyway, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, but still, he's actually been playing a lot better lately. He's been playing a lot more convincingly. He's still got his awesome macro, but he's also trying out things which really work for him a bit better, trying things that his opponents don't expect. He's not being so predictable, and I think that's fantastic. Anyway, getting back to the game, it's a Terran versus Zerg we're playing. Idra has spawned at the 12 o'clock location, whereas Ret is at the 5 o'clock location. And the map is Destination. This is a two-player map, so both players will know from the outset where each other are. And just putting down a hatchery here from Ret, we're going for a 12 hatch. So he's not going to be trying any kind of quick 9-pool or 5-pool speed rush. I think that would be a bit silly, especially because Idra can just go ahead and scout him, or even wall and give him his position, so that's why you didn't see that. Little drone getting picked on by the SCV now. But the drone's work is done. The drone at least sees vaguely what Idra's build is looking like in his base layout, so that will give Ret a few tidbits of information. Ret putting down a spawning pool, so pretty much standard timing there from Zerg. But what interests me is that Ret so far seems to be going for a very sort of standard response to Idra's play, and he will know that Idra is very comfortable in the long macro game, very comfortable just sitting there doing standard builds and letting the multitasking and the APM handle the rest later on in the game. And Idra hasn't gone for a fast refinery thing, so he's obviously doing a very similar, as you can see here, the SCV putting down his command set, not even waiting for the Overlord to clear out before he does that. He's willing to let Ret know that he's putting a command setter down there, doesn't want to delay the timing of it. Ret, on the other hand, has built his third hatchery. I'm just going to see that with the SCV still alive in his base. Ret hasn't started building Zerglings just yet, and you can see the drones transferring over. His spawning pool is done, not even producing any Zerglings at this point. He knows that Idra's gone for a fast expansion. He's seen that with his Overlord, realizes that he doesn't need Zerglings for any other reason other than to kill that scout, and even then, it's not really a big deal. Idra adding his second barracks on time, as well as the refinery, getting ready for that gear up stage before the Mutalisks arrive, and you can pretty much guarantee that Ret is going to go for Mutalisks. If he wasn't going for Mutalisks, you would see a Hydralisk den very shortly, and he's not really going to be able to kill the SCV in time to prevent the SCV from seeing the Hydralisk den if he was to go for that timing. Two Zerglings out now. You really want to kill the SCV before too long, before he scouts you too late into the game, so that is what Ret's decided to do. It's going to take him a while before he actually catches up to that SCV, especially since he's sent one Zergling out to do some scouting in the outfield himself. Idra just finishing his commands now. You can see the SCVs transferring over. And Academy, of course, being produced, as well as the engineering base. So Idra really just pulling no stops in terms of the standard tech build here. Is going to take Ret on. And what we're really going to be looking for in this game is what Ret decides to do in the mid-game in terms of how heavily he expands, how quickly he techs, stuff like that. That's really going to be the game-breaking thing, because that's what things come down to when you let the early game take its course with both players doing very familiar and practiced builds. Now this SCV hasn't been taken out yet. The Zergling hasn't quite done the job, so Ret will see that there's no Hydralisk den. He'll see that everything's on standard timing for a Mutalisk. Looks like I just repositioned his command center there so he can get the commsat station. SCV looks like it might be leaving the base now, and this is quite cute because, you know, Idra knows that the SCV will get killed eventually, but he's just leaving to save himself an SCV, I guess, rather than let it be destroyed. Zerg now at tier 2, putting down that spire. But of course, we all know that Idra's got plenty of time to prepare for this. He's going to have the concept up. He's going to confirm that the Aspire is indeed up. I think those Zerglings may have actually taken an SV now, and of course, Ret producing quite a number of them. He can afford to. He has pumped drones for quite a long period of time. Looks like +1 weapons on the way, and stim nearly finished. He'll be going for range as soon as possible, I guess, but enough Zerglings out in the field to really rush into the base should those Marines leave. That can be a bit of a ploy, really, because if you don't build enough Zerglings, then the Marine player, sorry, the Terran player can just move his force over and force you into building a lot of Sunkens. And indeed, that may be what Idra wants to do right now, but Ret, all he has to do is run away with those Zerglings and threaten to run past into the base and kill some SCVs. And that can be bad, because you can also take out turrets while they're building, and then when the Mulisks arrive, that'll be a problem. Now, those of you who have been watching carefully will have noticed that an expansion's gone up while I've been talking. I wasn't able to point it out. Spire just finishing now, but as you know, Ret is expanding this location over here at the 4 o'clock position, and that's very standard timing. Because Idra's gone for just the 3 barracks into fast factory and then fast starport with no delay whatsoever, you really just don't have quite enough Marines to go and push out to that expansion at the 4 o'clock, because if you do, Mutalisks will be showing at your base at the same time you're killing an expansion. It's not really worth taking out that Zerg expansion at the expense of suffering heavy harassment back at home at your main base, because the Zerg player can go and expand elsewhere in the map while that's happening, so that's why you're not seeing that. Now, Hydralisk Den as well as Evolution Chamber going down, this is just standard mid-game stuff. He's going to need the Lurkers. He knows that he can't beat Idra with just pure Mutalisks. Idra's very good at defending against Mutalisks. All the practice he gets against the Koreans in his team CJ Entist, as you know. Idra has got a few turrets up. He's just finishing the last few now, and here comes the harass. So, as you can see, it looks like Idra's fairly well prepared here. He's moving his Marines back up to the high ground. He's even got a bunker at the back, just because that's one of the tougher areas to defend, and he wants something that can repair a bit more effectively. If it's just a turret, potentially the Mutalisks can fly around the high ground there and avoid being spotted until the last second, and then that's when they pummel the towers. I think Idra's positioning these towers are pretty good. He's got around about the right number, and he's got enough Zerglings out in the field to really... sorry, we're talking about Red here. Got enough Zerglings out in the field to really hamper any kind of push that Idra goes out with, but Idra really content to wait with the 2 bases. He knows that he only needs 2 bases to win this game, at least up until a point. And we'll see how that goes. Looks like SCVs are going to need to repair that turret. Ret picks off one of them, very nice play. And getting these Marines as they go down the ramp, that's actually quite nice. Getting a few kills without really taking much damage on the Mutalisks too. So Ret playing it cautiously and effectively. He's even got a Queen's Nest going down, so he's really not going to waste too much time in terms of taking up. He's got the Lurkers upgrading now, so he's going to be able to stall Idra for quite a long time. And I think what you'll find here is that Ret will go to a 4th gas or even a 5th gas before Idra really has gotten a lot of momentum up. The thing is, Idra is obviously going to be very dangerous even against that many Zerg gas expansions, even with just 2 base, because once he's got a large enough group of guys, you know that Idra's going to be able to push out, and he's going to be almost unstoppable with the amount of multitasking and resources that he can spend quite efficiently from 2 bases. So it's going to be a tough game. Ret's really got his work cut out for him, but Ret can do it. We all know that. And if he's got enough bases by the end, if the game goes on for too long without Idra doing enough damage, you know that the Zerg player is going to win regardless. But first lot of Lurkers being formed now, really in advance of the Terran player getting anything done. And Mutalisks in the midfield taking out all of that single tank. When I said midfield, I meant in the middle of the Terran base. Mutalisks swinging around, and Idra looks like he might be ready to push out now. He'll have Lurkers to contend with and won't have that tank. Interestingly enough, Ret has slowed him down by taking out that 1 tank, doing a bit of sniping work there. More tanks on the way. But with a bit of micro, Idra may not need tanks, but, well, going straight in for these Lurkers. Ret burrowing down with about 3 of them, and Idra forced to pull back. Notice that he doesn't quite have enough Marines, and they're not well enough upgraded. That's quite an important one. Not well enough upgraded to be able to push through that mid causeway just yet. So that's why you're not really seeing Idra take that position. Whereas later in the game, you'll probably see a different scenario. And wow, Hive nearly finished. But back to that thought. Later on in the game, once you get 2 upgraded Marines, or even 3 upgraded Marines, that's when you can see Marines heading straight into Lurkers, which typically won't be upgraded with their spines, because you'll be seeing melee weapons and armor carapace being upgraded for the Zerg player in anticipation of, you know, cracklings, ultralisks. That's when Marines can really take care of Lurkers, and every competent Zerg player knows that. But Ret really just wasting no time here, expanding at the 3 o'clock, and Idra has got quite a lot of forces built up, and it's going to be a matter of how long he can remain stalled by Ret before things happen. Looks like going for a second starport now, as you typically would, and I'm very happy to see a dropship, because that's the kind of play that the Terran player needs to put in. Oh, second Overlord being taken out, and looks like the Lurkers have backed off a bit, but getting in a position to flank here. Idra sieging up the tanks, making sure that the Zerg can't really surround him while he's setting up, and using some irradiate on those Lurkers, really trying to thin